with us.
Yeah,
no matter
we're going to have your code and your ticker on this network, and you can't stop it from being traded.
Right.
And so there's a derivative, and then if there's liquidity bonding the prices together, so if, let's say you have Chainlink on Ethereum, and then after launch, price bounces around a while, but I bet that over time that these prices will move similarly.
Right.
Right. I think that the Link ticker on Pulsechain is likely to move similarly to the Link ticker on Ethereum.
Right. Just because of the bridge, right? And
well, because they're bonded by the liquidity.
Right.
And then it's the same code with the same ticker. Now, do you want to pay $100 or $300 to trade it on Ethereum, or do you want to pay a penny to trade it over here? And we already know this answer because they're doing it on other networks as well. Yeah. People do trading on alternate networks, and then we're the one that you don't like. Your coins are already here. You don't even have to bridge over. Right. You've already got your free coins here. You can already access them by changing one setting in your MetaMask. It's awesome.
Dude, it sounds
well.
It sounds pretty awesome.
Well, that's the trick. That's the magic. Is you launch this whole network with all these new coins. How do you get those new coins to be valuable?
Right.
But by not letting anyone ever stop the trading, by having the same tickers, and by giving people a reason to back the value of the things they got free,
right?
By rewarding them with a yield farming token. It's like a giant vampire attack, basically. It's a giant vampire attack.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another Vampire Attack Day, and we've got lots to talk about, so it's going to be a good show. We're going to talk about lower inflation. That was good news. However, we've got a hawkish Fed, not overly hawkish, but just slightly more hawkish. And of course, we're going to talk about the stock market and crypto, very bullish overnight. And of course, Pulsechain managed to pump off the back of that too. So good all round, I think. And of course, we've got a poll in the chat there, so fill that out. We'll check that out later on. What are you doing on Pulsechain at the moment? Are you buying, hodling, selling, or might buy? So get in there on that one. We've already got 6 votes, so fill that in on the way in. If you're new to the channels, of course, don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and hit the bell. All that good stuff. And if you haven't joined our Discord, links in the video description to join up today, either to our general membership, $5 a month, or our strategy club, $35 a month. Get into it there, folks. All right, let's go. We've got Lives Beneath in the house. How are you today? Very good. I'm going to go for a walk today after the live stream, so that'd be good. It's a still mixed sort of, light, wet, wintry day. It's not bad outside. It's just, a bit overcast and that sort of kind of day, but certainly not raining or anything like that at this stage. What else there? Hex Pulse Hex XM token for the win, 100%. That is the maxi strategy of the channel, so that's still intact there. We've got Sandy Beach in the house. Hi, Sandy Beach. Been a little while. Always wonderful to see Sandy in the house. Big shout out, one of our awesome moderators as well. Sandy says, I hope everyone is good. I'm on vacation now for 4 weeks. Next week, I will be traveling. I post some nice pictures, scenery pictures in the Discord and X. That'd be really cool. I look forward to that, Sandy, and hope you really enjoy your holiday. We got Craig Pitt as well. Morning all. Good to see you, Craig. Welcome to the house. And we got Brennan as well. Morning, Superman and family. Yeah, it looks like we saw Hyper move last night. So it'll be an interesting one to talk about there, Brennan. We got Wookie says Wookie wants a train. He's got a plane on a car and a car. But what about a train? Yeah, well, we'll see what happens there. What's a wild card? Talking about Mafia, of course. We're going to be talking about Mafia today because Mafia, the snapshot has been done for Pulsechain. So we're going to look at that for Pulse Mafia. So we'll be covering Mafia game on both BNB chain and Pulsechain. So it's going to be a lot of fun. You guys are all here early because pretty much I'm apart from I think it's another guy. It's a Crypto Pride. He's another YouTuber covering Mafia at this stage, but we're expecting that to ramp up to more YouTubers out there doing that. All right, let's go. Let's get into it. So let me just move around here. We're going to play the video. This is about 7 minutes long. This is from the Fed chair, Jerome Powell, and of course this was earlier today. So let's listen to his new view on the Federal Reserve.
My colleagues and I remain squarely focused on achieving our dual mandate goals of maximum employment and stable prices for the benefit of the American people. Our economy has made considerable progress toward both goals over the past 2 years. The labor market has come into better balance with continued strong job gains and a low unemployment rate. Inflation has eased substantially from a peak of 7% to 2.7%, but is still too high. We are strongly committed to returning inflation to our 2% goal in support of a strong economy that benefits everyone. Today, the FOMC decided to leave our policy interest rate unchanged and to continue to reduce our securities holdings. We are maintaining our restrictive stance of monetary policy in order to keep demand in line with supply and reduce inflationary pressures. I'll have more to say about monetary policy after briefly reviewing economic developments. Recent indicators suggest that economic activity has continued to expand at a solid pace. Although GDP growth moderated from 3.4% in the fourth quarter of last year to 1.3% in the first quarter, private domestic final purchases, which excludes inventory investment, government spending, and net exports, and usually sends a clearer signal on underlying demand, grew at 2.8% in the first quarter, nearly as strong as the second half of 2023. Growth of consumer spending has slowed from last year's robust pace, but remains solid. And investment in equipment and intangibles has picked up from its anemic pace last year. Improving supply conditions have supported resilient demand and the strong performance of the U.S. economy over the past year. In our summary of economic projections, committee participants generally expect GDP growth to slow from last year's pace, with a median projection of 2.1% this year and 2.0% over the next 2 years. In the labor market, supply and demand conditions have come into better balance. Payroll job gains averaged 218,000 jobs per month in April and May, a pace that is still strong, but a bit below that seen in the first quarter. The unemployment rate ticked up, but remains low at 4%. Strong job creation over the past couple of years has been accompanied by an increase in the supply of workers, reflecting increases in participation among individuals aged 25 to 54 years and a continued strong pace of immigration. Nominal wage growth has eased over the past year, and the jobs-to-workers gap has narrowed. Overall, a broad set of indicators suggests that conditions in the labor market have returned to about where they stood on the eve of the pandemic, relatively tight but not overheated. FOMC participants expect labor market strength to continue. The median unemployment rate projection in the SEP is 4.0% at the end of this year and 4.2% at the end of next year. Inflation has eased notably over the past 2 years, but remains above our longer-run goal of 2%. Total PCE prices rose 2.7% over the 12 months ending in April. Excluding the volatile food and energy categories, core PCE prices rose 2.8%. The Consumer Price Index, which came out this morning and tends to run higher than the PCE price index, rose 3.3% over the 12 months ending in May, and the core CPI rose 3.4%. The inflation data received earlier this year were higher than expected, though more recent monthly readings have eased somewhat. Longer-term inflation expectations appear to remain well anchored, as reflected in a broad range of surveys of households and businesses and forecasters, as well as measures from financial markets. The median projection in the SEP for total PCE inflation is 2.6% this year, 2.3% next year, and 2.0% in 2026. My colleagues and I are acutely aware that high inflation imposes significant hardship as it erodes purchasing power, especially for those least able to meet the higher costs of essentials like food, housing, and transportation. Our monetary policy actions are guided by our dual mandate to promote maximum employment and stable prices for the American people. In support of these goals, the committee decided at today's meeting to maintain the target range for the federal funds rate at 5.25% to 5.5%, and to continue reducing our securities holdings. As labor market tightness has eased and inflation has declined over the past year, the risks to achieving our employment and inflation goals have moved toward better balance. The economic outlook is uncertain, however, and we remain highly attentive to inflation risks. We've stated that we do not expect it will be appropriate to reduce the target range for the federal funds rate until we have gained greater confidence that inflation is moving sustainably toward 2%. So far this year, the data have not given us that greater confidence. The most recent inflation readings have been more favorable than earlier in the year, however, and there has been modest further progress toward our inflation objective. We'll need to see more good data to bolster our confidence that inflation is moving sustainably toward 2%. We know that reducing policy restraint too soon or too much could result in a reversal of the progress that we've seen on inflation. At the same time, reducing policy restraint too late or too little could unduly weaken economic activity and employment. In considering any adjustments to the target range for the federal funds rate, the committee will carefully assess incoming data, the evolving outlook, and the balance of risks. In our SCP, FOMC participants wrote down their individual assessments of an appropriate path for the federal funds rate, based on what each participant judges to be the most likely scenario going forward. If the economy evolves as expected, the median participant projects that the appropriate level of the federal funds rate will be 5.1% at the end of this year, 4.1% at the end of 2025, and 3.1% at the end of 2026. But these projections are not a committee plan or any kind of a decision. As the economy evolves, assessments of the appropriate policy path will adjust in order to best promote our maximum employment and price stability goals. If the economy remains solid and inflation persists, we're prepared to maintain the current target range for the federal funds rate as long as appropriate. If the labor market were to weaken unexpectedly, or if inflation were to fall more quickly than anticipated, we're prepared to respond. Policy is well positioned to deal with the risks and uncertainties that we face in pursuing both sides of our dual mandate. We'll continue to make our decisions meeting by meeting, based on the totality of the data and its implications for the outlook and the balance of risks. The Fed has been assigned two goals for monetary policy: maximum employment and stable prices. We remain committed to bringing inflation back down to our 2% goal and to keeping longer-term inflation expectations well anchored. Restoring price stability is essential to achieving maximum employment and stable prices over the long run. Our success in delivering on these goals matters to all Americans. We understand that our actions affect communities, families, and businesses across the country. Everything we do is in service to our public mission. We at the Fed will do everything we can to achieve our maximum employment and price stability goals.
All right, so that was the introduction there for the Fed meeting earlier today by the chair, Jerome Powell. And of course, the interest rates are no change, 5.25 to 5.5% on the federal funds rate. Interesting, if you look at the modeling, you got this big up and down every year in terms of the numbers, but then when you look at the forecast, they're pretty much a linear straight line. That's it. You get these Harvard guys, whoever's doing the modeling, and they're always doing straight line linears. Isn't that funny? And just to give them a bit of room, they have little bands. They put little bands around them. It's kind of funny to see that. But anyway, you can also debate the correct target for inflation, 2%. As I said, that actually came out of New Zealand's central bank policy, and now governments, central banks around the world use that. So you can debate whether 2% or 3% is the right number. And of course, it looks like the CPI came in at 3.3%, so down from 3.4%. So some interesting stuff happening there. Obviously, a little bit of weakening there in the employment, unemployment up slightly, but that's just the way it goes. And of course, GDP down as well. So the things are heading in the right way for them in terms of interest rates. Looking at that forecast too for interest rates at 5.1% for next year. And of course, it looks like 2 to 3 years to get that inflation under control based on that forecast, with only really one moving from 3 rate reductions, I think, down since we started in May. That new SEP forecast down to 1 reduction this year. So yes, September, November, something like that. We'll see. Let's quickly get into some of the response to that and the markets, how the markets responded. So let's bring that up. And bam, there we go. So, well, S&P sort of ignored it, didn't it? Hawkish was, the Fed was a bit more hawkish with keeping the rates up for longer, less rate cuts, and the S&P just decided to move up anyway. Ended above 5,400 for the first time. So we've got the Dow Jones there, just down slightly at 35 points, 0.1% at 38,712. With S&P 500 is up 0.85%, 40, almost 46 points to 5,421. The NASDAQ with all the tech companies had a really strong day. I mean, 1.5% there, 267 points to 17,610. So really record-busting moves going on, regardless of the Fed. Some of the commentary in response to that Fed update. Fed sees one cut for 2024. CPI in May cools more than expected. So that was good news on the back of that. I'm sure that the Fed had access to that info probably early. And of course, I can't remember which the timing of those came out, but Federal Reserve kept interest rates steady for Wednesday, but now sees just one rate cut for the year as inflation is expected to trend higher against previously expected. Fed members now see the benchmark rate falling to 5.1% this year, suggesting just one rate cut in 2024, compared with the prior estimate in March for 3 cuts. In 2025, Fed members see the rates falling to 4.1%, up from the prior forecast of 3.9% event before eventually down to 3.1% in 2026. So it's a long road. It's a long road to put interest rates down. The shifts in the projections of the Fed's SEP are more hawkish than we anticipated, says economist Jeffries. And of course, the decision arrived on the heels of data showing US consumer prices increased by less than expected on an annualized basis in May, as the consumer price index rose by 3.3% last month, decelerating slightly from the 3.4% in April. Month-on-month reading slowed from 0% to 0.3% there. So that is the results there. And of course, the next meeting coming up for the Fed is going to be, let's see here, 6 weeks and 6 days, basically 7 weeks away. 31st of July is the next meeting. We can see that the majority of the market's expecting a no change in interest rates, so keeping that at 5.25. Let's have a look at how September changed, because that was kind of the earliest that we expected. Well, it looks like we've got just under 2/3 of the market expecting a pivot in September. And let's see what we got in November. We got almost 3 out of 4, 75% expecting a pivot in November. So September, November looking like the opportunity for a rate pivot. November would feed very well into the US election, right? That'd probably be pretty cool, but maybe September, but earlier would be better for the Biden administration if you're wanting that. Of course, we want to get rid of that one, that administration, but there we go. We'll see how we go. And that's bullish for crypto, bullish for the markets, especially after, September is typically the pullback month for Bitcoin. So let's hopefully we get, the rally after that, and November would be pretty good. That brings us into crypto markets, and crypto markets are looking pretty good. They also rallied like the stock market. So Ethereum, Bitcoin up at 68,167, up 1%. Bitcoin dominance are still holding pretty well, 53%, down about half a percentage point there from yesterday. Ethereum at the moment, 3,554, having a nice bit of a recovery there, up 1.36%. Everything is pretty much up. BNB is up 2%. $1,617 after having that rally, almost a week ago, up to $725. We've got AVAX doing pretty well. We've got Uniswap doing pretty well. Uniswap's up 12%, $10.05. And we've got the meme coins, of course, doing pretty well. Dodge particularly up 5.3%. So those are some of our standouts there in the market overall. So good news on the stock market. Good news on crypto, and of course crypto here, importantly here on Bitcoin, we're over the 50 days. So we challenged the 50-day yesterday, we got above it, and we're still above it now. The 50-day moving average is now at 67,000, can you believe it, and $22, and we're currently at 68,271. So looking pretty good there, almost $1,300 above that mark, or let's say 1,250, and the 200-day moving average is at 57,000 at the moment. So everything is heading up pretty well. And fortunately, we've had no Chinese Taiwan invasion, so we've still got a couple of weeks for the good weather, but so far we're moving forward with that. That's going to lead us into Bitcoin runes, of course. Meme season, first time for Bitcoin, and of course, perfect timing for Bitcoin meme season, given the fact that we had the Bitcoin ETFs on the 10th of January, we've had the Bitcoin halving, and of course, Ethereum ETFs, provisionally approved pretty much. That's being held up by the SEC with the feedback, but that's still coming as well. And of course, bullish for meme coins. So meme coins bullish. And of course, we've got some of the leaders here. So let's have a look at how dog goes. We're picking dog for the winner. It makes kind of sense to have the most valuable meme coin on the most valuable chain. And we're picking dog for that, led by Leonidas. So So far, so good. Waiting for some tier 1 exchanges at the moment. So we've got Dog Go to the Moon, or Dog. It is rune number 3. That's when it was created at the Bitcoin halving. And of course, it's at 10.35 sats at the moment. Market cap back over 700 million after having a bit of a retrace after that super rally that it had. And here it is at 704 million at the moment. Bank of Nakamoto dollar, the one that wants to do a stable coin, up 12% almost. So having a good day there. Market cap under 195 million. We've got Ryzik number 4 up 12% as well. Pups World Peace up 1.5% there. Pepe Go to the Sun. Pepe has moved into the mix here pretty strongly, up 122%. And that's moving up the 85 million market cap. Epic, still holding strong, but down 8% today. Still in the top 10, 16 million market cap. Lobo, the Wool Pup, up 30%. Nice to see that. One of our picks, of course. Now, Lobo and a Dog are kind of related to each other. We're airdrops as well. So we'll just take that into account. And yeah, up 30% on a Lobo. So looking pretty good there. 58 million, sorry, market cap. Crypto Kitties, which has sort of come out of, I haven't really tracked that, but that came in. That is etch number 67,294. So it's quite, one of the more recent mints, and that is up big time. Flat today, but still in the top 10. So that just came in the last couple of days. And then Decentralized, one of the big Ethereum teams, that is up 10% at the moment, 3.187 on Bitcoin with a 45 million market cap. And of course, we've got some notables after that, Satoshi Nakamoto and stuff like that following afterwards as well. So if you haven't checked out runes, you surely don't want to miss it for this bull market. I think things are going to get pretty hot over the next 6 months. So you got to check some of those out. There we go. If you want to find out more details, get into our Discord and join the strategy club. $35 a month for that, and just one of the topics that we talk about. Looking for those big, the big half a dozen of tokens. You can do a couple of strategies, right? You can do X's on X's. 3x and a 3x and a 3x, that gets you up to 27, is it? So, you can do that, or you can get, find the top 6 coins, just like Hex was in the last bull market. And of course, Dog, we're back in Dog to be one of those half a dozen of super movers there. So, looking pretty good. Now, collections, NFTs are also doing pretty well there. We got Node Monks at the top, Runestone number 2. Bitcoin Puppets number 3, Darkman number 4, Frux and Blob number 5 and 6, Quantum Cats number 7, Ordinal Maxis number 8, the Royals number 9, and Ryzik there at number 10. I think the Royals are just recent as well. So yeah, Frux is fairly recent as well, I think, and Darkman as well. So some new movers and shakers in the top 10 there on the old NFT Ordinals. So kind of cool, fun time. So that is pretty much it on that. Let's have a quick zoom in into Dog. And see what that chart is looking like. If we're backing that to be one of the big winners, we can see the chart at the moment. And you had a big rally. Look at that big rally. And of course, profit taking in there, selling off, waiting for tier 1s to launch. And of course, it came all the way down to 56 hundredth of a penny. It's back up at the 700th of a penny at the moment, and actually got up almost to 78 hundredth of a penny yesterday on the daily. So pretty good. Let's go to the 4 hourly actually. So look at 4 hourly, the old traders view, and you can see how that's ticking away. We are holding this upward support line, and of course we did breach this downward resistance here, and we have breached that. So that's a very bullish sign, looking pretty good here at the moment. So we'll be watching this over the next day or two as we lead into Thursday, Friday US time, and let's see how we get on in the weekend. But looking very good. Now tier 1s could come out any time. Leonidas let it drop that yes, he's having talks with exchanges, but of course some of them have to actually get the runes protocol incorporated in the centralized exchange. But we are waiting for some tier 1s to come along. The Krakens, the Qcoins, the OKX, the Binances, of course, the Coinbase, Crypto.com, all those sort of things. Waiting for that, and man, take off time. Absolutely. So looking forward to that. All right, let's jump over into Ethereum. Ethereum at the moment is also above the 50-day moving average. Nice to see that. Also challenged it the other day, but it's back over $3,500 is now the 50-day moving average. Isn't that cool? And $3,000 for the 200-day. So pretty good round numbers. And currently we're at $3,550 with $2 at the moment, and off the back of yesterday, which got to $3,657. So nice little bounce there, and staying over the 50-day moving average. Very, very bullish. We obviously got some issues with the SEC delaying feedback on the F1 forms there, but we have got kind of the initial approval there back on the 23rd. So still some drama around that. And hopefully once that's sorted, we might see the capital start flowing and bullish for Ethereum. And that's going to be bullish for later in the year. I think it's going to feed in pretty well to the next 6 months narratives, with the exception of September potentially. We will see. All right, so that is Ethereum, and that leads us into some of the news around crypto. Terraform Labs, Do Kwon agrees to pay the SEC a combined $4.5 billion in civil fraud case. So that's a big news out. Settlement agreement, if accepted by a judge, would also ban Kwon and Terraform Labs from buying or selling all crypto asset securities. So that is it. From there, that's a kind of a big quick summary now. What else are we going to say about that? Yeah, it's got to get approved, of course, the summary, and so on. I'm not going to read this whole article, but you get the idea. Now, Terraform Labs wanted to pay $1 billion, $1 million civil penalty, but of course, that's kind of a joke compared to what they want to charge. They want to charge over $5 billion, but now they've got to about $4.5 billion. Yeah, there we go. Yep. Can't check, have 150 million assets remaining. So that is the play there with that. So we'll leave that, but that is happening at the moment. That leads us into BNB. And BNB, of course, had that big rally to $725 all the way back down, tested the 50-day moving average as well, just like the others. And but it's back over it. 50-day moving average on BNB is 608, $608, but now we're at 618 and looking pretty good there along with everything else, which leads us on into Pulsechain. So no, it doesn't. It leads us to BNB Mafia. Just teasing there. All right, so BNB Mafia there. Let's have a look at the summary. We're going to go quickly through this today. We're going to spend more time on this probably tomorrow. But at the moment, we've got the syndicate number one in the family. Actually, let's go to players here. We've got 767 players now, 15 crime families, and 86.45 BNB in the vault. And of course, this is in pre-live game phase, so that's ticking away there. If you want to check some of that out, you can. So that is the Magic Eden site there that we talked about, and this is the BNB Mafia. So you can get a player and start to join a family and start playing today. It's on the BNB chain, but it's about to launch on Pulsechain as well. So we'll be covering it on both chains. Looking pretty good. So let's go to you got the players at the bottom down here. Let's go to the families and see the rankings. So we've still got the syndicate number one. We've got the original gangsters at number 2, the Mugnaus at number 3, the Yakuza from Japan at number 4, and the Illuminati, one of those globalistic type of mafias, at number 5. They're sharing in the vault. 10% of the vault each week will be distributed to these families. 30% for the number 1 position, 10% for the number 5 position, and all the rest of the families here, Costa Nostra and many others, the High Table, the Peaky Blinders, the Cartel, they'll all be competing to try and get in the top 5 there. As well as trying to win the cool business assets in the game there that people want, like casinos and things. So it's going to be pretty carnage, isn't it? And it's going to be a lot of fun. So that's the families. Crates, of course, we've been covering that the last couple of days, opening up some crates. I've got a couple more crates left, but we're going to open those up with a show coming up here. So you can see, got a couple of crates in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 crates. And so we're going to open up a couple of those. Actually, we'll probably open up some now, but because we've got a couple of crates there. But we're going to open up some of those when we get to we're going to be doing a special show for Mafia. We're going to try and get some of the Godfathers and Dons on the show, and we're going to do that. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. So look forward to that's coming up. But let's open up. I think we'll open up 2 crates now, and then we're going to open up a couple. Open some up on that special show. So let's open up, we'll probably open up 2 and let's see what we get here. Now, crates are $20 each, so you can purchase them with a number of things, but we'll look at that in a minute. Let's open up a crate first. You will probably have 2 transactions on BNB to pay for opening up the crate. So one of them is paying for Chainlink to do the, I guess, the randomization or something. Waiting for Chainlink. So that is ticking away. And we've opened up a couple of these each day, the last couple of days, so it's been a lot of fun. And what are these in these crates? Well, they're game assets, right, for playing the game. And you could get some really, really good ones. You could get some modest ones, let's say. They're all going to be useful in the game. Yeah, so 2 transactions there to play this. Now, obviously, let's go. Here we go. I love this animation. As you guys know, it's pretty cool. So we're going different asset classes, and then it finds an asset class, and then it goes through, and you just don't know what you're going to get. So we're going to get some money. Yeah, it looks like we got money. So Let's fingers crossed. Yesterday we got 2 low amounts. We only got 50,000 yesterday. Let's hope we get some big money today. It'd be pretty cool. I want the big money today. Come on. Oh, we got the low money again. So it must be pretty hard to get the big money. I've had 3 50,000 cashes in a row. But hey, it's all going to be useful in the game. But that is it. Let's do another one here. Before we do another crate, open another one. You can purchase crates, right? So purchase here. You got it's going to cost you $20 USD tether, or you can Mafia 43,141 Mafia to buy a crate, and then you can open it up. And then of course BNB 0.032 BNB per crate, so about $20 pretty much, or $19.99. You can purchase a crate, and the crate will show up down here. You can transfer the crate, and just on there, and you can transfer it to another player if you want, or you can, open it up. And so we're going to open up another crate. You can see we've still got 7 crates here left, so let's open up another one. Bam, let's do it. So we're going to open up a crate here, confirm, and yeah, so it's 2 transactions to that. Now this is going to be on Pulsechain as well. So Pulsechain obviously much cheaper. I do know that Pulsechain's had a few, it's been a bit slow, some a bit sluggish on some of the transfers, but certainly going to be super cheap, like, probably half a cent or something. Yeah, BNB is a relatively cheap chain, but Pulsechain, of course, is super cheap. So we'll see how that goes. Let's get in here, open some of these up. Let's see how we go. Wish of luck. Let's go. See what else we open up here. What category we get? I want to get a business object, of course. That's the holy grail, getting one of those. But we haven't got around there. We're back to money again. I don't know what's happening with all this money. This is the 4th time we're getting money. Must be the most common one. I don't know. Or maybe a lot of the other ones have already gone, and money is the main one left. Let's see what we get here. Let's see if we can get some more money. Bam. Are we going to stop there? Oh. No, it keeps going. I thought it was going to slow down, but it kept going. We got 250,000 in cash, so that's much better. So that's kind of cool. I think we might open up one more. What do you guys reckon? We got 6 there, so let's open up one more while we're at it. We got opening up 3 here. I don't know, 3 seems about right. It is a lot of fun to open up a crate and see what you're going to get. This is a bit like a slot machine. What do we got here? We got some comments here. Buy the big ones. Yeah. Let's go big time on the crates. And Brandon says slot machine, the holy grail. It does appear to be that way. Does appear to be that way. All right, here we go. So if I open that up, we got waiting for chain link there. Oh, there we go. One more. All right, so let's see what we get, folks. Number 3, lucky number 3. Let's hope we get something good. Everything is useful, right, in the game. But we were obviously after, when you're playing, you're obviously after to try and get the biggest thing you can possibly get. We're going to get hearts. So money and hearts. That's what we've been getting, money and hearts. So we've been getting money and hearts there. It'd be cool to try and try and see if we can get something else. We're going to get a lot of money and a lot of hearts, which are super useful in the game. But I want to try and see if we can get some of the other assets as well. 300 hearts. That is pretty good. Okay, 300 heart. That's pretty good there. So that is pretty cool. In fact, that's the 2nd biggest heart that I've got there on the list. And we got lots of money bags. I mean, that's what it's all about in the game, getting that money. That money is going to be swappable, tradable for Mafia and other stuff like that. So that's very, very useful, right? I'm going crazy. I'm going to open up another crate. Let's do 4. We're going to do 4 of them, and then I got going to have some left for hopefully our show that we do. That's going to be cool. Let's go here. Bam. Crate number 4. Man, we're going crazy today with the crates. Let's see if we can get one of those other objects, and let's see how we go. Money and hearts, and of course, if I get shot up, right, it's you're gonna need some heart to recover. Lies Venetia, super is the romantic type. I see here with the hearts. It seems so. All right. Come on, Bullet Factory, says Archie. Yeah, that'd be awesome to get a Bullet Factory. That's for sure. Let's see how we go. Oh, we were so close to the business objects. We're back to the heart again. I'm not sure why it's looping back around. Is it some sort of randomization? Randomization. I mean, inverted commas. I mean, is it truly randomized? I don't know. But we're ticking away here. Let's see if we get some big hearts. Big hearts are really important. It's going to be very important to have heart. We've got 100, so it's modest, but we'll take it. There we go. So that's our 4 today. So we've got 2 monies and 2 hearts. Very important for the game. But of course, we were trying to get access to one of these business objects here. It's kind of the holy cow. You got car crushers, shop owners, banks, hospitals, all the way to bullet factories. So yeah, pretty cool. But what else is there? There's also cars, right? So there's cars, $5,000 car all the way to $500,000 car. They're pretty cool. Bodyguards, of course, also pretty sought after. But yeah, you're going to need cash, bullets, health, shop items. You know, they don't have trains here. They have airplanes. That Douglas M3, which Wookie picked up one of those the other day. But yeah, there is no trains, Wookie. There is no trains in this game. Not yet, anyway. That'd be interesting to see where you get that. Now we're expecting the game map to come out probably in a week or so. We might see that game map, and yeah, it's going to be interesting. We're going to see it in 4 days, or we're going to see it next week sometime. It'll be interesting. And also the marketplace is going to be open up as well. So that's going to be a big deal for buying and selling and trading things. So that's going to be pretty cool. More health says, actually, yeah, more health. We got a few laughs there from Lies Beneath about that, getting lots of hearts and lots of money. The systems rig, says Brennan. Systems rig, yeah. What else there? We got a lot of people are looking to gun you down, Super. Are they? I'll be careful there. That's why I need all those hearts. People are going to be after me big time. I got a grande, says Brennan. I got a grande. Don't stand near me, says Brennan. Don't stand. Yeah, well, I'll keep away from you guys. Now, as you guys know, I am the concierge, which is kind of the number 2 spot there for the syndicate. We've got Archie in the house. He's the godfather. He's the number 1 spot there. So, yeah, the hierarchy of any family is going to be under a lot of pressure there. There's Archie there. Come on, Bullet Factory. Yeah, we're going to need some bullets. Need some bullets. So that is true. Hey, we've got a few people in the chat there, but let's get on to some of these. Like I say, you can buy crates at the moment, so get in there, folks. It all goes back into the system. All that stuff feeds back into the vault and other things like that when you do participate. So that's going to be kind of cool. What else there? We got, let's see, just going to welcome, where is it? Here, Check My Pulse. Good evening, Hex Token family. Hey, Check My Pulse. Good to see you. I think that was it. I think that was the one I want to talk about. All right, got to find that comment. I can't see it. Now, we've got a poll on at the moment, so fill that out. What are you doing on Pulsechain at the moment? You're buying, you're hodling, you're selling, and you might buy. So get in that. We've got 16 votes, so we're up from 6 votes to 16, so fill that in, and we'll check that out when we get up to the Pulsechain, sounds good. Anyway, so these are all the different objects that you can get from high to low when you buy a crate, and of course, they're all going to be used in-game. There's also going to be marketplaces, so arguably you should be able to trade everything as well. So that's going to be pretty cool. And of course, they will affect your worth, your estimated worth at the top right there. They're all worth something different. So take that into account. Big heart's actually worth a lot. Like you're getting a big heart number, that's actually worth quite a bit. So yeah, that's kind of cool from that. All right. Now the vault, as we said, is looking pretty awesome. 86.47 BNB. Now BNB goes up in price, of course. That's going to go up and away. Currently $53,510. And remember, 10% of that each week will go distributed to the families in the top 5 spots with the green ticks on them, and you can see the percentages that they get just by your mouse over there. Now the game wiki there, I would generally suggest read the game wiki. That's going to show you how to play, and I did a video on it about a week ago, so you can go and watch that if you like to hear someone to talk through it. But there's a bit more information there now as well. And then of course, if you want to buy Mafia, the contract is 4111. And of course, at the moment, it's a very, very good entry because it's the way the game's designed. You got 4.7% buy tax, remember that, so you probably need about 5% slippage, and you got a 16.6% sell tax, so you'll need about 20% slippage if you sell. Now, the good thing about buying is you can speculate on the game with the Mafia token, or you can get into a family and stake your Mafia. That builds up the bank for the Mafia family, so you make the Mafia family stronger. So there's different ways of looking at it, and of course, you can use it to buy and sell assets in the marketplace when that gets launched, maybe in a week or so. It could be 4 days, could be a week, I don't know, it's coming. It's the next phase, right? Phase number 6 is going to be the map, the game map, and the marketplace. So it's pretty big launches as we launch there. Now, the other thing is Pulse Mafia is coming. So that's going to be having a big impact as well. So let's move on from that and check that out. And yeah, let's do that. Should we go to, I was going to go back, have a look at, let me just pull up the Mafia contract here. So if you want to pick up Mafia, this is the Mafia chart at the moment. Very good price to get in. So there we go. Buy Mafia. And it only costs 2,000 Mafia to become a player. But if you're joining a family, some families have membership fees, some others don't. But if you want to join the syndicate, that is 100,000 Mafia to join. So you can join, hit up Archie in the Discord there if you want to join the syndicate. That is the contract there for Mafia token on BNB chain there. You just have to switch your wallet over to BNB. All right, so let's move on from that. We're going to get into the news. So obviously the big news here from Jacob, the ultimate godfather. I guess he should have the omnis godfather there. He's got here that the snapshot is announced. So a BNB Mafia or Mafia game is on BNB, but it's coming to Pulsechain. So it's going to be Pulse Mafia on Pulsechain. And so the snapshot has been done. In other words, all those assets that were being used in TRH, I guess water and burn and things like that, they've all been snapshots. So snapshot announcement, it is done. So that was done earlier today. 4,700 wallets. That surprised me to the upside. That's a lot of wallets. So that's a good sign that we might have a lot of participation there. So I'm excited about that. This was a big one. It certainly was. Now, all assets, tokens, NFTs, trees have been added towards your final snapshot value. So if you have got any of those assets, all assets. So let's have a quick look at those assets here on the list. So you can see we've got burn, water, TRH, plant. And there is the other ones too, the other two that I haven't got on this list for some reason. So they're all into it. They'll all get credited. So if you're holding those assets, they will get credited. Tokens, NFTs, trees have been added towards your final snapshot value. The only asset left out was staked burn. So if you had staked burn, that's the only asset left out. We offloaded 120 million TRH, and we'll use all of that pulse to set up Mafia LP. So the TRH LP was taken from the team, and so they sold that in. So you're probably only going to get whatever you had. You probably get a few bucks for what you had at the moment. There's not much liquidity left. This liquidity here is not correct by my account. So just take that into account and so forth. So the team obviously pulled the LP. They obviously gave due notice for that, that the snapshot will be taken. So the snapshot has been taken. And of course, that value, that LP will be switched over to the new Mafia. So you will get credited Mafia. And of course, you'll be able to buy and sell that with the new LP pool. So, it's kind of a bit of a shifting game into that. They offload 120 million TRH, and we'll use it all, the PLS to set up Mafia. The other thing, of course, is because of the issue with the stake contract they had last time, there'll be less. You probably get a bigger magnitude per your tokens that you held because of those ones are probably excluded from the snapshot, is my guess there. We expected to distribute Mafia tokens. This is Mafia on Pulsechain, so Pulse Mafia. Within 48 hours, Mafia front end goes live shortly after. So we're talking 48 of 72 hours. From the looks of it, until Pulse Mafia goes live as well, so we'll be covering it as well. It's going to be a big deal for Pulsechain. Pulsechain needs, killer apps, needs big GameFi, and so I think it's going to be positive there. That's why we're excited about it. And Jacob is pushing the boundaries of all that stuff. So cool. Let's jump over from that into the TRH. You can see the chart there, correspondingly there as well. Take that into account. Now, the other thing, this is another project of Jacob's. I said to you, he's crushing it, man. He's got so many teams working on so many projects for Pulsechain, adding so much value. You really need to spread the word and tell everybody about those projects because he really does care about Pulsechain, cares about the success and giving the frontier of DeFi and GameFi. So you can see it. The proof is in the pudding, and the pudding is here. The pudding is here. All right, so we got the latest game here on Pulse Predict. Now, on Pulse Predict, you can still earn. So you can still earn Predict tokens. There's lots of ways of earning Predict tokens there. You can see on the list. But you can also check the leaderboard. These are the leaders every day. Just being in the top 50, you always earn Predict tokens anyway. And you can see who's leading at the moment. We've got Blackie at the top there, John Anthony, number 2. Lots of people in the list there, onwards and onwards. So pretty cool. 4,053 players actually on Predict there. So it's going to be ticking away as well. The other thing is that the claim, the Predict token itself for this Pulse Predict website will be going live in less than 13 days. So Jacob's busy, man. He's got BNB Mafia, he's got Pulse Pod, he's got BNB Pot, he's got Pulse Mafia about to start its early launch, and then he's got Predict token here as well. So lots happening there at the moment. So it is the ecosystem on Pulsechain to be involved when all the action is happening. So kind of cool. And the latest thing, of course, is we've got under sports events, We've just had the Euro soccer, what we call soccer or football, I guess. Some people might call it the UAF Euro 2024 in Germany. All these games are up for betting. So if you love soccer, you love betting on these teams, you can do single, solo bets here, Germany, Scotland, etc., Hungary, Switzerland. You can see all the bets here and you can participate that. It's got the closing in days, so closing in 1 day, 2 days, and so when it's closing all the way down through this list here. So lots to be betted on there if you love doing the soccer bets. Bet on it, spread the word. If you know people that love to bet on soccer, especially the Euro, then definitely get into that. It's a no-brainer, really, isn't it? So kind of cool. Let's post that as well. Predict. Pulse predict, really, isn't it? Let's call it pulse predict. Yeah, we call it soccer down under here. That's what we call it. Football is what people call it, isn't it? Football. It's the same thing. So someone's a Carfro saying football. What is soccer? That's what we call it. We call football soccer. We call our own rugby. We call rugby football. So I don't know, it's a little bit upside down, but we live on the bottom of the world. So what do you expect from us? What do you expect? So that is the Pulse Predict. That's the link there for Pulse Predict. So get in there, folks. You can earn. Now, if you had sacrificed for any Jacob's projects, you would have already got some TRH. Sorry, you would have already, what am I saying? You would have got some Predict tokens on the claim. So you can see the leaderboard on the right-hand side of how many tokens there are. And you have different ways of earning tokens. Sacrifices, if you did sacrifice, you would have got some tokens. Activity, which means that if you're doing some betting, price predictions or sports bets, you're going to get that as well as the earn table. There's different ways of earning as well. And of course, the staking, if you'd stake TRH, it's been interesting to see how that goes now. The TRH is super cheap. Can you just go and buy it now off the market for nothing and go and stake that? That's interesting. Food for thought there, Archie. I don't know. What do you think? Let me know in the chat. Yeah, TRH is now so much cheaper because it's got the LP that's got pulled that you could probably stake that and then hit some Predict tokens. Interesting. NFTs, not financial advice. NFTs, of course, if you had NFTs as well, that's true too. So, yeah, OG NFTs, I think it is, and specialties. But here's the leadership table at the moment with the tokens. Looks like the top guy there, GolfNut, got 12 million Predict tokens. It's going to be interesting to see what that's valued at when the price goes live. This is a sports betting and price prediction site. And of course, sports betting ticking away there. I can't wait for this fight. I know it's been deferred. It's got July here, but I think it's been deferred to November, the Mike Tyson fight, because of Mike Tyson's ills, if I remember rightly. We'll see. Was it October, somewhere like that? And of course, price predictions, you can do that too. Do bets and predict on Pulsechain stuff. Kind of cool, which is kind of cool. That leads us into Pulsechain. So we're going to get into day results, day 397. So let's just round that off really quickly. We've got a few other comments in the chat there, so let's get to that. What else we got here? We've got a couple more comments. Brennan says, I've got a grenade, don't stand near me. Now I get that. I didn't quite get it the first time you said it. Wookie might need to watch his back. He definitely will with you with a grenade, that's for sure. Archie says, that's awesome. They added in trees and the NFTs. There were 100 plus different types of NFTs. Yeah, that's fantastic. That's for the snapshot for Pulse Mafia. So we'll be covering that too. That's going to be hot on Pulsechain. I think people are going to be surprised at how many people get involved on that. I think it's going to be really, really good. We've got Crypto Claz in the house there. Good morning, Crypto Claz, another influencer in the Pulsechain X space. Big shout out to you. Hope you're doing well. And we got Brennan as well. Nice one, Archie. What else have we got in here? Let's see. We got, okay, so rugby is okay. Rugby, yeah, we call football, rugby football. Soccer, we call, I mean, football in the north, we call soccer here, so that's pretty much it. For a moment, I thought you meant this catch and run ball the Americans do. Gridiron, we call that gridiron. American football, we call it gridiron down under. So there we go. Everything's upside down. I don't know. Pretty crazy. What else there? Archie says, hit me up if anyone wants to apply to this syndicate. There we go, Archie. Get into it. Hey, Crypto Class, if you're there as well, I don't know, you can give a big shout out for Pulse Mafia and BNB Mafia coming to Pulsechain. Yeah, if you're, I don't know when your show cycle's on, but yeah, get in touch with Jacob and Telegram and get on board with that. It's going to be a lot of fun. We just had Crypto Pride recently join the fray, and it's going to be cool. All right, let's get into it. Let's move on. We're going to get into the results. Day 397. We've got Pulsechain at the moment, quadruple 0513, up 6.5%. Woohoo! Let's take that. We're sitting at 51% of the main sacrifice price, which is pretty cool. We got Pulsex as well, quadruple 0223, up 8.5%. We like that. and that's the buy and burn looking really good today too. 890, let's say 893 billion has been bought up and burned, 4.41%. Man, we're heading towards that 1 trillion. It's getting closer and closer. And I guess 900 billion and a trillion. We're getting there. It's going to be awesome. And what do we got? Example, 20 trillion in supply. Man, that's exciting. The incentive token up by 9.7%. And like I said, this is the one to watch. Incentive token's going to do some crazy stuff once it breaks out through those resistances. 53,431 is the ratio of pulse to incentive. And we've currently got just under 34.2 million incentive tokens in existence. So some nice stuff happening there. Hex at the moment up 6.37%. That's at 6,500th of a penny. EHEX at 1,400th of a penny. Combined price of EX and PX at 7,800th of a penny. And of course, lots of upside there. That is the one we're going to be watching as well. So yeah, everything's playing out pretty much as we've been talking about here. And it's nice to see a green day again on day 397. Let's have a look at the charts on the week daily. I've got daily here. Nice grid. We had the big rally 4 days, then we had a big sell-off over like 6 days, and now we've got green again. So good to see that. The RSI is at 45 on the daily, so it's looking pretty good. Let's go to the weekly. The weekly there, a very nice bounce here. We bounced from 4,600. We're now at 5,100 here. So that's great to see there on Pulsechain, and the RSI starting to tick up. So what's the bottom in here 2 weeks ago? Kind of looks like it. That's what we were hoping to call. We did see resistance at this time in December, and of course, support in December and resistance in September and December respectively. So there we go. I think I muddled those words up, but that's the way we go. And off we go up here. So I think it's looking good. Pulsex as well, is it looking even better? Let's be frank. Or let's be Donna. I don't know. Be frank. We're holding this upward trend line. Fantastic. We've got higher lows and we're holding up the trend line. This is looking very good. And this is on the daily. The RSI is sitting at 47. Got plenty of room to move. And of course, we're holding it up bullish. So kind of cool. Let's go to the weekly too on Pulsex. And yeah, Pulsex going to do some pretty fun things soon. Yeah, looking really good. I mean, it speaks for itself, doesn't it? And the RSI on the weekly at 38. Lots of room to move for a big move up. We keep looking out for this yellow line crossing the blue line on the daily and the weekly. So that's coming up ahead of us. And man, we could have a really nice rally up to the upside there. It's going to be fun. Good times. So looking pretty good. Incentive token, of course, is going to benefit from Pulse and Pulsex. And of course, the ratio is holding up so strong. Look at that. Beautiful. So Pulse and that all go, then this is going to absolutely race off. And once it breaches 61 and then 71, after 71,000, it is off to the races. Who knows where it could go, and the price could get pretty juicy. So looking forward to that. Let's go put that back to US dollars actually, and have a look at that. So where have we been? We've been up, been up to like $10, $9.50. So yeah, we could really bust that away once we get Pulse on a bit of a move. So Pulsex and Hex incentive token are really going to do some cool things. That brings us into Hex. Hex is going to be the slowest, laziest one. And of course, we're at the bottom of the range here. So huge volumes you can pick up at this rate. And obviously, we get that consistent trend turnaround. Then this is going to take off as well. At the moment, still in the accumulation zone at the bottom. You can pick up a lot of juicy Hex there for that. EHEX, likewise, pretty similar story. Same thing there. We won't go to say too much about that. Let's go over to the gas prices. We've got 238,000 beats, so it's still on the low end of the gwei. 4/10 of a penny for a Pulsex swap, 3/10 of a 300th of a penny for a Pulsecoin transfer, and 800th of a penny for a PRC20 transfer. 9 gwei on Ethereum right now, but we're 2,600 times cheaper than Ethereum. So pretty cool stuff to do a swap on the old Pulsex, up to $11 or so for Uniswap, but only 4/10 of a penny for Pulsechain, which is going to be great for Pulse Mafia when it launches, because if you're going to do all those transactions, opening crates and buying and selling, you want a cheap chain. BNB is relatively cheap, but Pulsechain even cheaper, right? Super cheap. So that's going to be bullish there for that as well. In fact, do we have the comparison? Yeah, we do. 51 times cheaper than BSC. So there we are. That's pretty good. But 2,600 times cheaper than Ethereum. So there we go. Pretty fun. All right, let's go to the validators and have a quick look at those. Let's see, we're 48,734 validators, 1.56 trillion off the market. That's been the case for that for what, 2-3 weeks now. So not too bad. And of course, picking up Pulse and becoming a validator, very good option right now, right? While it lasts, so get it while you can. People will be crying later on saying, oh, I wish I could have. I had so many months I could have done it. I never did it. And it was like, and now it will cost me the earth to get a Pulsechain validator. That's how it works, right? We got bridge onto Pulsechain, 106.2 million. So we're up from yesterday. That's pretty cool. And we're up about 400 grand or something there, I think. We've got back over 31 million DAI as well. Ether's just under 30 million there, and EHEX are up slightly as well. So a bit of a move on there on the bridge slightly. We'll be watching that number pretty closely as well. So that is the results there for day 397. We're now on day 398. You know it. And of course, things are about to get hot because we're heading towards 400 days. So it's going to be a lot of fun to cover that. All right, and that's it. We've got a few more things to talk about though. Let's go to derivatives. Derivatives at the moment, everything's kind of green, so I'm not going to go too much into this. But Lucky is the standout today. That's the 7-year Hex staking pool from Maximus up 6.3%, followed by the 3-year one there up 5.75. So interesting that those two are up the most. Actually, that's kind of interesting, given the fact that they're kind of in the mid period. So kind of cool. The base, the 1 year, is at up 5.7%, and I would have thought they would probably be in the top one there. So there we go. Let's go to the stable coins. At the moment, so stable coins, we've got PDAI is back up at half a penny. Yay, PDAI. We're going to keep following the PDAI narrative because it's probably the most one that's got the best chance of getting to a cent. And if it gets to a cent, then it's got a chance of getting 10 cents, etc. So we're following that $1 narrative there. And of course, half a penny to 1 penny. That is the game. So looking pretty good, playing out so far. And of course, USD Tether, USDC following closely behind there as well. What else are we looking at there? Anything unusual? Nothing else unusual there. LUSD down 19%. So this is trying to do the dollar narrative as well. They do have a burning mechanism, but this is still weakened off here on the LUSD narrative there. So we'll see whether it can turn around or is it going to continue to sink. We shall see. The burning will help, maybe help later at some stage. We'll see. Now the influencer coins. So look at those. We've got Ben Armstrong V1. This is the copy, of course, up 7%. Solid X, Randy's whale friend, up 6% there. Axis Alive, up 5.35%. No token for Randy Alasky, up 5%. So just below 0.4 of a penny. And that has been pretty solid, isn't it? And more token there from Trevon, up 4.7%, etc. So that is kind of the leaders at the moment. Let's jump over to the Beast. Oh, the one that's really down is Beastie, Crypto Beastie there from Fashion Coda. I'm still confused why she went on to Solana. I guess Solana is being the main meme coin chain recently, but some interesting stuff there. 508165 at the moment on Beastie with only $9,007 liquidity left. I don't know how much of that is locked, but it has come down dramatically. So there we go. It's really difficult to have a token like that, even if you're an influencer and a successful one like Fashion Coda. It's still a challenge to keep that value in the chain there. So that is that. Let's go over to the overall here on Pulsechain. Let's go to the yields here. So we've got 19.3 million in volume. So that's kind of cool. That's almost 2 times what the volume that we had the last couple of days during the weekdays. So that's kind of good. I'd like to see this get back over 25K during the week. 25 million. I'd like to see it get back over that, 25 to 40 million in the weekday. That would be pretty cool. But yeah, nice to see. This is almost 2x what we've seen at least recently. So that's good news. And we're back over 300,000 transactions on 24 hours as well. That's kind of cool. The top performers at the moment, we've got RUSD, so Reptilian Dollar. Big shout out to MV Johnson. MV Johnson out there. Reptilian Dollar's just launched. This is the Reptilian, it's a bit like PDC, right? They got their own setup here, but they've tried to launch a token that they want to be $1. So you can check out the website and everything else. Let's look at the website over here. The reptiliancurrency.com. So they've got their currency here, and of course they're wanting to try and be $1, I guess, as well. So you can read all the details on that, but that is ticking away as well on that one. And they have the other one, the Reptilian one, which is like a PDGC, but it's kind of a DAO reflection ecosystem. And now they've got this dollar token as well, the Reptilian Dollar. and it's probably got some sort of reflections in it, I guess, feeding back to the holders. I don't know, but that's the case. That's just launched, only just launched. So this is 5-minute chart here. These are 5-minute candles. It's not doing too much at the moment, so be careful out there. But it might run away. You never know. We'll see how it goes. Certainly the team seems to be doing stuff, so it's kind of cool. Pico, the Pico, they're up 46%. Rug, don't buy. There's lots of tokens that's popping up all the time, right? So just remember that. We're not endorsing any of these. This is the ones that are just up today. 45% on Rug, Rat, Molar Rat there, up 22%. 9mm. So this is the first utility token here. I guess RUSD maybe it's kind of utility stable coin, but it's not stable, of course. It's a speculative one. But 9mm is the DEX, number 2 DEX. That is ticking away. That is up 18% today. So nice to see utility actually getting, because they're really, for me, the most intrinsically valuable. So utility, they actually offer a service like a DEX or a lending or something like that. I do prefer them generally, but the market, of course, when the market's down, it can discount all of those. When the market's up, it starts to reappraise utility offerings. And of course, it's got that leverage play to it. So that's kind of the idea there. We're at 18 cents at the moment. So back up here on the daily for the on 9mm. So good stuff happening there with a market cap just under 18 million at the moment. And of course, that 9mm exchange is doing how much of the volume? 2.1 million in volume. So not bad with 31,000 transactions out of the total volume there. That compares to Pulsechain, which is doing 15.5 million, which is the bulk, right? That's the bulk of value. 9-inch from Hexy Bastard doing 1 million. So it's solid. It's ticking away there on the old 9-inch. So that's kind of some of the numbers there. What else is pretty interesting? TDP from, I think it was Moon King, 15.6%. The UFO from PDGC group is one of their tokens. That's 13.4%. PDC itself is which kind of the parent, as it were, is up 12.6% as well. So nice stuff there. Incentive token from the 9-inch DEX is up as well. $2. Is that all right? $2. Is it the other one? I'm not sure which one that is actually. 9.7%. Looks a bit high. $2.74 doesn't make sense. Oh, that's the incentive token. Sorry, my bad. It's a Pulse Hex, it seems like. Hex Orange address there is up 9% as well. Not too bad there as well from the Tan Gang. The Tan Gang. They used to raid the Discord. They used to raid the chat here all the time, right? They don't seem to be doing so much of that now. So everything's up pretty up. Pulse Hex up 8.6%, so not bad. Across the board there. So lots of little green gainers at the moment, under 10%. We won't go through all those, but a better day for Pulsechain. Nice to see that on the back of a record stock market, record crypto. Oh, maybe not record crypto, but positive crypto bounce. Kind of cool. All right, let's see. Let's see here else. We're going to check out. Let's check out some of these comments here. We got. Brennan says we don't wear headgear and shoulder pads down under. That's true. Not like gridiron, American football. Yeah. Crypto Clay says I'll check it out for sure. Jacob is a legend. He is indeed a good one. Crypto Clay. I'm sure you will like it. It's going to be big. The next big thing, hopefully for a while, on the old Pulsechain with Pulse Mafia about to launch. What else? Brennan says I don't know. I know a Donna that's married to a Frank. Yeah. Sorry. Donna was the first name to come up. What was the old 70s show? They had Donna on that. She was a good character. Sandy Beach is Beastie. Yeah, Beastie. Yeah. Have you got some Beasties, Sandy? Let me know, because I know Fashion Coder. You're probably on Fashion Coder. Are you a moderator for Fashion Coder? Because I know you're a moderator of just about all the influencers, which is pretty cool. Crypto Clay says karma. Yeah, karma. That's for sure. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. It's tough if you're. There was a prediction made I saw on X some time ago. I can't remember what it was. I can't remember who made it. But it was about the fact that they expected 2/3 of the Pulsechain Hex influencers to launch their own coin for whatever reason, right? Over the bull market, and boy have they been right. It's been pretty hilarious there. And of course, the other day we saw Richard Hart unfollow everybody, probably because I don't know what triggered that. Whether it was maybe it was even Fashion Coder Solana launch. I don't know. It's a lot of speculation out there, but in any case, it's pretty hilarious. Hey, look. The X platform is for following, but that's what it's designed for. So if you want my view on it, that's people follow people. That's what it's about. It's about networking. So I don't know. It's an interesting position to take. A Beastie, yeah, Beastie, yeah, but that'd be a cool token, eh? A Beastie, not Bestie, but Beastie. That'd be pretty cool. We got Annual Riddens in the house there. Morning all. Still holding. Nice one. Actually, let's get to the poll. How many people got on that? 25 votes. That's a good number. So we'll finish there on that one. Let's end that poll and see the final results. What are you doing on Pulsechain at the moment? 56% are hodling, so there is a risk-off attitude, and of course, because downtrend and stuff like that, no uptrend. When the green, what's number one? 95% of attraction to a chain or stuff like that is green candles, right? So if you get that uptrend, that's the number one thing. We can all understand that. Buying 31%, so there is a lot of buyers. It's almost 1 in 3 people, so that's pretty cool. 3 out of 10 people, let's say. That's probably a bit more accurate. But almost 1 in 3. It's getting there. So pretty cool. Yeah, some good opportunities. Man, it's super cheap at the moment. So you can pick up all that volume and just wait for the uptrend. It's going to be fun. And if we have that hyper bull market that we're expecting to come very soon, you definitely want to get that volume. Selling, 3% selling. That's not too bad, is it? That's 25 votes. So not bad result there. I think that's a fairly good sentiment. And that can quickly flip, right? So, a lot of those people hodling and people selling, they can all flip around to buy. So kind of cool. What else? Let's see here. We got Elias in the house there. Gain green gang candles. Yeah. Good to see you, Elias, by the way. We got Brian in the house there, our community leader. What's up, folks? Late, but made it. Always a pleasure, Brian. Bestie. Yeah, you spelled that out really well there, Sandy Beach. But you didn't tell us. Have you got any? What else do we got in here? Best and not the beast. Best, not beast, says Brian. Crypto Class says, why not Pulsechain? Kick in the guts. I'm not quite sure what that's referred to there. Was it something I said or someone else said? I'm not sure. Yeah, why not? Yeah, why not Pulsechain? Oh, you're talking about Bestie? Yeah. That's what I thought. It's like, why not launch on Pulsechain? You're a Pulsechain influencer, I don't know. I mean, that doesn't stop you from launching anything else, obviously. We're into freedom and all that, but it was a bit of an unusual move, I thought. Good name for a token, though. I think it was a good name. But, yeah, I'm sure she would rethink the approach if she could launch a coin. There's no joke. Bots would be very advanced, yeah. And so, yeah, there's a couple of techniques for that. I think Axis has done that pretty well with the majority of tokens off the market to avoid bots. And, of course, the price that you put it in, yeah. So yeah, good point. Brian says, I just got home yesterday from mine. Nice one. Yeah, you guys are all on road trips. I guess that's what you do in the United States is summer. Everyone is going road trips, and Brian's just finished a road trip. Sandy's about to go on a big road trip for the looks of it, on a big holiday. So kind of cool. I know you guys having fun out there in the good old US of A. Was it 50 states to choose from? I bet none of you are going to Alaska, though. Have you going to Alaska? Alaska's gorgeous, but it's definitely colder, right? Definitely cold. It was cold and unstable. Is it still cold? It's probably still cold now, right, in the summer. I don't know what the weather's be like there, but yeah. Kind of cool. How many people in the United States know that there's 50 states? Could they? I've watched some of those YouTube shows where they tried to name the states. That's kind of funny. So yeah, and they couldn't even get through them. It was pretty funny. Let's see. We're going to cut through some of those. Sandy says, Sandy's got something here. Yes, I'm close to getting all 50 states done. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool to go all 50 states. I know a lot of people try to do that. They try to go to all 50 states in the US on their traveling. How many have I done? Let me think. Hawaii, California, Florida. So that's what, 3? North Carolina, 4. New York State. I think, yeah, New York State. So that's 5. Texas Airport. So that counts, right? Texas Airport. So that's 6. I haven't actually toured them, right? I haven't toured the states. I've just gone to most of the airports, but just remember that. So yes, I haven't toured those states. I just Florida's exception. Florida, I did quite a bit of touring there, but apart from that, not really. Just stuck in a city or whatever airport. So that's 6 states. Man, that's actually more than I thought. I can't believe it. Man, I'm almost American. Oh, that's crazy. I'm just kidding. All right. Hex Token, yes, it counts. Haha, yeah. So 6 it is. So I've got to add to that. But I actually got a tour, right? That's very different from doing that. So I know that we've got excavators over in Colorado at the moment. I'd love to go there. That'd be really, really fun. So there's heaps of states that would be fun. It's great. It's such a culture shock to us where we are. It's very different. Everything seems bigger in America, right? So the buildings seem bigger, the roads seem bigger, and I guess they are. They are bigger. They also drive on the other side of the road, what we call the wrong side of the road. So yeah, it's that'd be different too. Archie says that is more than some Americans do. But yeah, I bet it is. Well, I heard that less than 5% of the population. This is probably older statistics, but less than 5% of the population had ever traveled outside of America. So that's kind of crazy. Is it even smaller? Maybe even smaller than that, 2%. I don't know. It's a pretty small percentage. And then I guess a lot of Americans don't even travel out of their state, maybe even in their lifetime, because of the states. The states are so big and stuff like that. Crypto Claire says Fashion Coda is still welcome home for Christmas. Yeah, of course. Merry Christmas. I'll be getting Colorado by four corners long. Oh, nice one. You'll have to post some images of that. We are in some ways a big crazy family. That is true. Archie says a lot of people never leave here. Yeah. It's easy to do, I guess. It's easy to do. Sandy says I want to travel outside the USA. I definitely think you should. I think it's a good experience to travel somewhere else outside of the US culture. Now, US got obviously multiple cultures because you're all those states and different people and stuff like that. But fundamentally, I think it's quite different once you go to other cultures. Like if you go to France, they speak French and everything's in French. If you go to Japan, very Japan, all that sort of, you guys know how it rolls. I don't know why I'm speaking that out, but there we go. Brennan says, Crypto Clays, jump in the Discord. We can send you links for the Pulse Mafia. There we go. That's from Brennan. We got Archie says, I've been to 38 states. I need to count them again, lol. That's pretty awesome, Archie. I have traveled to other countries, but I need more of them. Yeah. And some countries are far more culture shock than others, or different geographical stuff like the visual. Like obviously New Zealand down under here is just absolutely spectacular with the geography. It's just unbelievable. What else there? Brian says I've never counted the state I have been in either. Christian says I don't do Discord. Sorry. Okay, no worries, says Brennan. You guys having a chat in the chat there? That's what the chat's for, chatting. Archie says, apply to the syndicate. Crypto class says, Archie, he's the Don. Archie's the godfather. All right, that is pretty much that on that. Should we go to the Hex Daily Stats? I think so. Let's do it. Let's jump over to the Hex Daily Stats and let's see how we're going for day 1654. We're almost up to my full. I used to do an hour and a quarter before. It was the first time I've got getting close to it. So, yeah, day 1654 on Hex. We've got the payout today, 7.189 Hex per T-share. Pretty good. And the T-shares there, how they're going? Up 2,000 T-shares today, sitting at 9.1 million T-shares in the ownership pool, if you're mining Hex. The reward pool is 231,000, 65.5 million Hex in the reward pool today for Hex on Ethereum. Liquid holders up 6 and miners down 5, sitting at 117,607 miners on the old Ethereum. But let's look at Pulsechain as well. We don't have today's data out because it always seems to come out just afterwards. It's a bit of a mishmash. But we do have yesterday's data for what would that day have been? Day 396? Day 396, I think it was. We got the payout at 7.12 Hex per T-share. The T-shares were down 9,300. That's pretty decent. Sitting just below 9.4 million T-shares on the old Pulsechain there. Which is about just under 300,000 T-shares difference to Ethereum. The penalties, pretty good penalties on Pulsechain 2 days ago. Almost 3 million in penalties. That was a pretty nice payout there for day 397. And the liquid holders up 24, miners down 12. And we're sitting at 123,744, which is what? Just under 4,000, I think it is, isn't it? Around 4,000 miners more on Pulsechain. But we haven't really seen the uptrend, right? So look at this downtrend here with the miners. So we haven't really seen that. Obviously, green candles going to make a big impact there because green candles will affect the price. That will affect the yield, etc. You guys now know how it works. So I think once you see that turn around, you could see those trends turn around as well. So something to look out for once we get an uptrend. That's what we're looking for, the magic carpet ride uptrend. I think you guys know what we're talking about here because I talk about it all the time. What else there? Brian says 30 states. Well done, Brian. That's a lot. I need like 15, mostly in the West. You added a new state, didn't you, on your road trip this time, Brian? I think you did. Up in New Hampshire or somewhere like that. I'm just making that up. I don't know. It's New York. Is New Hampshire up near New York? Is that where it is? Or was I just make that up? Was it New Hampshire over near Washington? I don't know. I have no idea now. I'm confused myself. I need like 15, mostly in the West, says Sandy Beach. So you still got a lot to do in the West from the sounds of it. Brendan says, I've been to 3 out of 6 in Australia. Yes, Australia, what? Is there 6 states? I thought there were 7 states in Australia. Is there only 6? I thought it was 7 states in Australia. Do you not count Tasmania? Is that what's going on there? What's happening? 7. I forgot. Yeah, that's where I'm not even Australian. And it was 7. How about that? I'm not even Australian, and it's 7. And the Australian guy didn't know. That's crazy. I'm gonna have you. Oh, is there 8? Is there ASCT as well? Or maybe I got it wrong too. Then. Oh, that's a shame on me if there's 8. There we go. New South Wales. This is geography test here. Geography. Having a shocker today, says Brennan. Yeah. Sandy, sounds like you will. Yeah, see all the states before you do, probably, if she does a tour. It's funny that people that do tour end up seeing a lot more of the country. It's pretty crazy. All right, I think we're going to wrap it up there. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's show, and we're going to play out the Magic Carp ride on the way out. And maybe play the Hex song. I think that's a good day for that. Hope you guys enjoyed the show today. We covered everything, didn't we? And that's what we're trying to do, make it a very rounded show. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. We're waiting patiently for the Magic Carp ride for Pulsechain. And we had a nice little green day today, just to maybe a little hint there. The charts are kind of looking good for the bottom. So fingers crossed there. Now, I do want to keep the fact that we do have the SEC court case in October. So it's going to be interesting regarding scenarios. But let's see what happens. We're going to have a bullish run up to that, maybe a pullback September, and then maybe even a run up after that. We shall see. It's going to be a lot of fun. But in the meantime, Magic Carp ride time. Let's bring it. All right. Hope you enjoyed it. Subscribe, like, share, hit the bell, see you in Discord, and take care, everybody. Catch you again tomorrow for another great show. Until then, bye-bye. Always good to see Crypto Clays in the house and Sandy Beach. A big shout out to you. And, of course, everybody else in the chat there. A pleasure. All right. Take care. Bye for now.
In theory, if someone were a billionaire and they had like all this money, why wouldn't they just buy more of the thing they liked instead of dumping the thing they liked? Like if Bezos bought shares in Amazon, would you be pissed off? If Apple does a stock buyback and they buy more of their own shares in their company back from the public, which is a way to turn earnings into yield for the shareholders, do you get mad and yell at Apple? And so we had to come up with a word for this fan fiction fantasy, which is the opposite of a rug pull, called a magic carpet ride. And so if you're worried about risk of a rug pull, what weighted value have you given the risk of a magic carpet ride? And it's just hilarious to me.
It's fun to watch Hex pumping up the charts. It's left behind all kinds of broken hearts who didn't buy the dip, who didn't DCA. And now that we're on a rip, it's hard to look away. Now I'm not the one to hand out free advice, but as for me, I wouldn't dare think twice about buying a bag, since we're still somewhat down. This rocket ship's about to break the speed of sound. You know these wheels are starting to roll. Best to sit back and just enjoy the show, 'cause we're about to ride that train into the heart of Hexaco. I tip my hat to everyone who minds. You're getting paid out while you're killing time. It makes room for a nice vacation to the beach, perhaps a celebration now that you are rich. Ha ha! Ignore the haters who all called you crazy. You studied hard while they were being lazy. Now you're packing bags, about to take a ride up on that rocket ship, mooned up and starry-eyed. I feel these wheels are starting to roll. Best to sit back and just enjoy the show, 'cause we're about to ride that train into the heart of Hexaco. Now that we're summer bound and the sun is bright, I see that it's not round but rather has 6 sides. It's a work of art that's written into code, designed by Richard Hart to make our bags explode. You know these wheels are starting to roll. Best to sit back and just enjoy the show, 'cause we're about to ride that train into the heart of Hexaco. Yeah, we're about to ride that train into the heart of Hexaco.